Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're gonna milk these lesbian witches for some more views.
Oh yes, you know.
That's the power of many videos. No, we're going to talk about the Acolyte. We're going to talk about the numbers. And I want to disclaim, I don't give a shit what Disney does with Star Wars. I don't care.
Like, my thing is, they're all going on about how, it did so well. It's such a win. And there's like an 80-some% increase from the week before, except for the week before we had 3 days of the premiere with 2 episodes. It wasn't just a single episode premiere either. Yeah,
let's talk about this, because this isn't quite the win you think it is. And even if people are checking out the Acolyte, it's probably because of the backlash and people wanted to see if the show is as ridiculous as people have been saying. I actually dipped in, checked out episode 3 because I wanted to see if it was as ridiculous as people were saying.
I think that's what happened. I think a lot of people heard about the power of one, the power of two, the power of many, and they're like, no, and they all went and watched it to see how bad it was. From my understanding, that happened a lot. And that now only 1 or 2 days of episode 3 being out is reflected on this. So I would not be surprised if the following week the numbers were higher, because everybody was like, no, and then went to see what happened. And, is it true?
Yeah.
You know, I won't watch it. I won't give it time.
I did watch it, but that was the first Disney Star Wars anything I've watched in like forever. I think the last time I watched any Disney Star Wars was the first or second episode of Obi-Wan. I'm like, yeah, this is crap. I'm not watching this. But we're going to talk about this, and it's not a win. Even looking at the numbers, even if the views increased 84% as they're claiming, which is very dubious.
Or I think 81%.
Or 81% or whatever it was. You look at what beat the Acolyte. This is week 1, and they were beaten by Sweet Tooth, which wasn't really that big of a hit, and most people forgot there was another season coming out until recently. And of course, Bridgerton's just like destroying everything. But like Netflix is just completely dominating the charts. And we're going to talk about this. Not a win, not for a Star Wars show. It should have been number 1 or 2, and it wasn't. So let's talk about it. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Comicbookmovie.com. Star Wars, The Acolyte viewership suggests negative fan reviews didn't negatively impact interest.
Yeah, it did. So they're talking about how, the audience score is 14%. Well, it's actually 13% now. And the critical score is 80. They said 84. It's 85% now on Rotten Tomatoes. Which I love how Rotten Tomatoes is supposed to be like, completely unreliable in one breath, but then they're going to use it, for their story the next. But they go down. They're talking about the actual watching, the episode times and stuff. Go down to the chart. And what's interesting to me is, okay, if you look at this chart, some people are showing it with just the black bar, and they're not showing the blue bar with it.
Yeah.
This runs from June 7th to June 13th. And it says 210 minutes were the previous estimated minute watched. And that was only for 2 episodes. They were released at the same time. 210 minutes for 2 episodes. They said there's an 81% change because as of the 7th, it went to the 13th, it went up to 300. And is it 50.5? It's blurry. Yeah. They're saying, that's an 81% increase. That's a win. Except the 210 million was the first 3 days of the show being launched. And June 7th is in the middle, like it's like cuts off halfway. So that means that for the premiere, only 210 minutes were watched for the first 3 days of both episodes of the show. And then the next week, when they're jumping to the 7th to the 13th, it goes up 81% because that's when most people were going to watched it. And we also had the episode 3 that started a lot of drama and everyone went and looked at it in the first couple of days. So that would be with those two combined. I mean, well, not combined, but you know what I'm saying? It's like those two, there's an 81% increase, but that's why. Because you didn't have a full week to begin with. You only had part of a week, 3 days, you cut off to the next one. So it looks like it did better than it actually did.
And again, a lot of people are going to dip in just to check out the controversy. But beyond that, I'm like, look at what beat it. This is Star Wars. What beat Star Wars? Hitler and the Nazis. Evil on trial. Perfect match. What the hell is that? I don't even know what that is. Sweet Tooth, which had a lot of buzz at the beginning because of Robert Downey Jr. and then it just kind of like fell off. But they have a new season. That completely destroyed the Acolyte. Destroyed Star Wars. And this is based on a comic book that very few people read. It was critically acclaimed, but very few people read the comic book. And of course, Bridgerton. Bridgerton dominates the chart.
Well, Bridgerton dominates the chart because it's basically porn.
It's basically porn. Yeah, it is. It's like a romance
novel with porn.
It's a romance novel. But like, this isn't really a win. Just being like, well, look, Chuds, look, it came in 6th place.
Yeah, look, Chuds, it went up 81%. And I'm like, no, not really. When you look at the data, and it might even be higher the next week because, again, everybody who didn't catch the first couple of days of The Power of One, The Power of Two, The Power of Many all went to see what that was about. Yeah. They're like, wait, they did what now? And they all went to look. You did.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Coming in 6th place, your first week out is not exactly the win you think it is for Star Wars.
And everything else in the chart was Netflix. Everything
else was Netflix.
They even got beat by old Bridgerton. They didn't get beat by old reruns of Bridgerton, but the top ones included old reruns of Bridgerton. So it's not like the glowing win they think it is.
These are reruns. Like, people just want to go back and watch them get and
of course again. They got beat by Bridgerton season 3. Everybody did.
Well, if they would show the lesbians conceiving with the Force, maybe they would get further. So this is the article. It says, in a top 10 list which measures the minutes watched between June 7th and June 13th, Netflix dominates. No shit. The likely reason is that the streamer's tendency to release entire seasons at a time, however.
Well, that does probably play into it, I'm sure.
Yeah, but they've been kind of messing with that on that. I know with Stranger Things, they were kind of dragging things out too.
I mean, but I know Bridgerton, like the first 4 episodes, I want to say, got released. And if you look at the chart again, like, where's the chart again? How many viewers? Okay, so they had... 422 in the first couple of days, which I'm assuming was like about the same time frame. Yeah. And that's still twice as much as The Acolyte, which Acolyte had 2 episodes, they had 4. And then you go to 589 million, it's still doing about twice as much. Well, not quite twice as much, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. They have 4 episods, and The Acolyte had 2, but that was The Power of One, The Power of Two, The Power of Lesbians, and everybody went to look at it.
Right. So this is the thing. They're making an assumption here. There's the reason is that people are checking it out. They said The Acolyte received a boost from viewers who waited until the weekend to watch it, suggesting the majority weren't swayed by negative fan reviews.
These viewership numbers are not good.
No, but even then, I think it's actually being helped by negative fan reviews. I think people want to watch the dumpster fire.
A lot of people are hate watching it.
Velma, prime example.
If anything, this proves that what happens online occurs in something of an echo chamber. Oh, we're going to go with the vocal minority again? And not fans. No, I think that you're right. What happens online is an echo chamber. And I think that's why the numbers for Star Wars Acolyte are not good. Because the normies aren't watching it either.
No.
Comic book movie.
No. And I think that it's so funny that they're taking this as a win. I'm like, if I were Disney, I'd be like, how much do we spend on this show? We spent $22 million an episode on this show. Almost as much as the entirety of Godzilla -1. And
we got beat by a documentary about Hitler.
And we got beat by, oh my God, the Nazis are trying to destroy Star Wars. Oh my God. We got beat by a Hitler documentary and freaking Sweet Tooth. Really obscure comic book series.
It was pretty popular, though.
The show was kind of, but like, it's not, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not on the same level as Star Wars. It's nowhere near the same level as Star Wars.
I love it. Everybody else is coping because they're just a vocal minority. But meanwhile, the other ones had more episodes released. Yeah, okay.
They're gonna try so hard to defend this thing. And the thing is, all this drama, this is what I said before, all this drama around Disney Star Wars, and these shows come and go, and it's rinse and repeat. Every damn time one of these shows comes out, there's all this drama around it, and the media's like, oh, the bigots are bad, the bigots, we own the chuds. And then, like, within a week after the last episode airs, everybody forgets the damn thing even existed. Mm-hmm. I was sitting there thinking, like, when was the last time I watched Disney Star Wars? Oh, I watched like 1 or 2 episodes of Obi-Wan. Oh, yeah, and there was that Boba Fett show. I totally forgot about Boba Fett.
Yeah, but you know what's going on is every time, like you said, rinse and repeat, it's always, even if there's no controversy, they set up controversy ahead of time. Immediately claim that somebody's gotten death threats and that everybody else is a bigot.
They have a dance number ready to go.
Yeah,
and a music video.
Make a big thing on Twitter about all the bigots, and then here comes all the the typical people associated with Star Wars or celebrities, like, we don't stand for hate, and all this other shit. And they basically try to tell everybody that there's a bunch of bigots that are hating it to try to get people to like it. And it's the same thing over and over and over again. And it just, every time, it doesn't work. It just, the diminishing returns every time. And all it's doing is overall just turning people off because they're tired of the drama.
Yeah, but look at the headlines. So this is what I'm postulating. I'm postulating that a lot of these media outlets that are doing damage control for the Acolyte for Disney, they don't actually believe it. It's because of this. Hot headlines. The Acolyte showrunner addresses lesbian witches claim and clarifies gayest Star Wars comments. Star Wars. Charmin Obaid-Chinoy talks fan backlash and plans for the Rey movie, which good luck with that. It's going to be a freaking disaster.
Like our video, because we're doing it to cash in the Acolyte.
You know what? At least we're honest about it. You know, who's grifting
I'm just
here?
sitting here shaking my head like the stupidity just astounds me.
I don't care. I'm seriously, I'm walking. I am completely detached from Disney Star Wars other than to make fun of it. But like this, compare and contrast this. We did another video today talking about Inside Out 2 and how they're going back to basics and how they're being financially rewarded for it. And then you look at Star Wars, the dumpster fire that is Star Wars. All you have to do, Disney, with Star Wars and Marvel is just go back to basics, what people expect, and just do it well. It's kind of like, we used to watch a lot of Gordon Ramsay, Hell's Kitchen. And actually, I like the UK version better. He wasn't as caustic as he was, on that. But like he would say, hey, you don't have to be fancy with the food. You just have to season it well and cook it well and give people a good steak.
That was what he did his restaurant.
Or the restaurant, yeah. But one of the Ramsay shows, whatever it was. But he was like, you don't have to go out your way to reinvent the wheel. Like people come to a steakhouse, they want a well-prepared steak, and you can do that with salt, pepper, butter, whatever else, cream, whatever you put on the steak, whatever, and then you cook it well. And that's all you have to do.
Don't give him chicken that you say identifies the steak.
No, and he had the one episode, where the guy was like stuffing chickens with banana paste or something. He's like, chickens and banana, who the hell eats that? And they're trying so hard to be edgy and they're trying so hard to be whatever. It's like, no, people have certain expectations.
Gimmicky and stuff.
Gimmicky for these franchises. All you have to do is prepare the entertainment to meet those expectations. If you want to do something really different, then go do a different show. Mm-hmm. But don't call people. You go to McDonald's and they stop serving hamburgers and they start serving shitty pizza, which they did serve shitty pizza at one point, and everybody complains about it. Yeah, of course they are. It's McDonald's.
Do they call them bigots? You're bigoted against pizza.
Bigot. You hate Italians, don't you?
I know, right?
Actually, you hate Asians because the Chinese invented pizza.
I don't
you hate them.
I didn't think it was.
I thought it was. I don't know. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not hard. Disney, this is not hard to get right, but you're getting it wrong. And maybe this is just like the last turd they have to flush until they pivot. But as long as Kathleen Kennedy's in charge, it's not going to change. And I'm sorry, guys. How many years ago was she supposed to retire and George Lucas was going to come waltz? And then he was going to come in and be like, I'm taking my company back, guys. Here's your $4 billion back, Disney. I want my company back. Bullshit. Where's that multi-billion-dollar deal from that super fan in Saudi Arabia that was going to come in and save Star Wars? All this, like, this is like the Goonies with Chunk.
Oh yeah, it's totally different stories.
And Michael Jackson, used your bathroom or whatever. It's like that. Like Kathleen Kennedy's quitting tomorrow, and George Lucas is coming back. George Lucas is gonna take Kathleen Kennedy to the woodshed personally and beat the shit out of her.
He's the one that put her there.
He's the one that hired her, you dumbasses. He hired her.
He put her in charge.
I don't understand. Like, why does everybody keep forgetting this? Like, look, I think she's doing a terrible job. I can't
understand how you can fail this bad and still have a job. I cannot understand it. But you have to have some kind of blackmail material or something.
But George Lucas hired her. Literally handpicked by George Lucas.
I think he also thought that she and Iger were going to, do what he wanted.
It's Disney. Wink. Sure, George. Sure,
Mickey's
George.
fingers are always crossed.
Sign the papers, George. Just sign the papers. Sign the papers. Papers signed? Yeah, okay. Okay, get the hell out of here, old man. It's our Star Wars now. Anyway, are we going to wrap this up?
Oh, please.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.